Tomorrow, we unofficially kickstart the triathlon race calendar with Ironman 70.3 Oceanside here in California.
Yeah, all right guys, I know you're in sunny California. No need to rub it in whilst I'm stuck here in the UK. However, I am super excited about the race tomorrow because this has become a real favourite among the pros, and because of its popularity, Oceanside has become one of the most competitive races in the world, outside of obviously the World Championships.
Well, looking at the start list, 2019 is definitely no exception. It really could go any way, but we reckon we have got some really good predictions for the racing.
Right, let's start with the women, and we probably should begin with the Swiss athlete who's been dominating the Ironman scene for a number of years now.
Yep, it is Daniela Ryf, the current Ironman and Ironman 70.3 world champion. She will be kick-starting her 2019 race season right here in Oceanside before going on to race in the Ironman North America Championships just a few weeks later in Texas. And this marks the first time that Daniela has competed on US soil in Ironman events outside of the World Championships in Hawaii.
On paper, she is one of the fastest, if not the fastest, biker and runner on that lineup at Oceanside. And we know that Daniela very rarely arrives at a race in anything but top form, so she has to be the favourite. But maybe some damage could be done on the swim?
Well, I have the perfect candidate for this. Holly Lawrence. She is, after all, the only athlete to have beaten Daniela Ryf at the Ironman 70.3 World Championships in the last 5 years. She did so by attacking the swim, gaining enough of an advantage to get herself away from that group and up the road. And she employed similar tactics actually at Oceanside last year. She attacked that swim, but was eventually caught by Anne Haug and had to settle for second. Although it turns out she broke her ankle during the race and then continued to run a half marathon on that broken ankle. Pretty impressive stuff. And not forgetting the fact that Oceanside is practically on her doorstep.
Okay, that is a good shout, Mark. And how about Heather Jackson, another local athlete who is well versed at being at the pointy end in a race. Heather has lived just down the road in Carlsbad and has never missed an Oceanside 70.3 event since 2011, and in fact has never been outside the top 4 in this race. So if there is any athlete who can lay down the hammer and really apply some race tactics here in Oceanside, I would say it's Heather.
Ha! Well, you're forgetting her fellow countryman. What about Sarah True? She has represented the US in 2 Olympic Games. In fact, she placed 4th in the 2012 Olympic Games. And she's also dabbled with long distance racing way back in 2009, before then reverting back to ITU racing. In fact, it was Oceanside where she made her debut 70.3 performance and placed an incredible 2nd place. And then in 2017, she flipped back to long distance racing and returned to Oceanside just last year and placed 3rd.
Okay, Mark, hold your horses just a moment, because there are still many women we expect to see in the mix. We've got the likes of Jennifer Spildiner, Ellie Salthaus, Paula Finley, and one more athlete we are going to include in our predictions list, Hayley Chura. Now, Hayley finished 2nd to Chelsea Sodaro at La Quenta 70.3, and she had 2 other wins back in 2018 over the 70.3 distance as well. And unlike many of the women who are starting at Oceanside, she's already begun her season with a very convincing win at Ironman 70.3 Bariloche. So we know that she is 100% ready to race.
All right, needless to say, it is going to be fast. But now let's move on to the men's field, which is equally as stacked. And at the beginning of this week, the man to watch was definitely Lionel Sanders. In the last 4 years, he has been on the podium in every race in Oceanside, including winning twice. But sadly, he has recently announced that he's had to withdraw from this year's race in Oceanside. But that leaves it open to a whole host of other athletes, including Sam Appleton.
Sam is a true 70.3 specialist. He carries some incredible speed that could cause some real damage on race day. He's taken a 5th, a 4th and a 6th in the previous 3 years at the Ironman 70.3 World Championships, plus countless other wins in Ironman 70.3 events. I'm a big fan of Appo, and I would not put it past him to be leading this race for a large portion of the event, if not all the way to the finish line.
Well, I actually can't argue with that, and I am a big fan of him myself, but he will have to work incredibly hard to hold off some of the super runners within this field. What about the likes of Rudy von Berg or even Adam Bowden? Now, both of them duked out back in June of 2018 at the Ironman 70.3 European Champs in Elsinore. Adam posted an incredible 1:10 half marathon run split to take second to Rudy, who posted a 1:12 run split. Now, Rudy has actually got some previous experience on this course in Oceanside, having placed 5th here last year. But Adam, on the other hand, has really kicked his 2019 season off with a bang, having won the Ironman 70.3 Dubai race.
A couple of very strong home candidates who can't be overlooked are Ben Knut and Erik Lagerstrom. They both started their careers in the ITU and as such have extremely strong swims and very fast bike rides too. So I would not be surprised to see them at the pointy end of affairs from the get-go in this race. Knut used this tactic to great effect in the 2017 Ironman 70.3 World Championships, where he wasn't passed until the early stages of the run and hung on to do an amazing second place finish. So I will not be surprised to see Knut employ similar tactics on race day. And Lagerstrom, who was 4th here last year in his debut 70.3 race, could equally provide an excellent ally for his countryman Knut.
Well, that really is a stellar field that's going to be lining up at the Oceanside 70.3, with any number of athletes having the ability to top the podium. And with it being so early on in the season, it's going to be fascinating to see who's actually race ready. And I know I cannot wait to watch this race unfold. If you're as excited as I am, give us a thumb up, like, and hit the globe to subscribe to get all of our videos here at GTN. And if you want to see all there is to know about the Oceanside 70.3 Ironman race, you can find that in a video just here.